Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the differences between the barley and the wheat brides. As you can see here in Revelation 6 verse 6, which talks about the barley and the wheat. As you look over here, both the wheat and the barley look almost the same, to the point that you can't really tell the difference. The reason for that is because both of them are the bride of Christ. According to the harvest season in Israel, the barley harvest around the time of Nisan and Leo comes before the wheat harvest. This is saying that the barley matures faster than the wheat brides, setting apart the category of both the early brides and the new brides. So what exactly set apart these two groups? We have to look back to the pattern of Jesus' death, burial, resurrection, and ascension. Jesus represents the bride of Christ because the bride, just like Jesus, she picks up her cross daily and crucifies her flesh. And in Matthew 27:50, the death of Jesus came before his ascension. Therefore, there are two transformation events, which I call the first one as the first call and the second one as the rapture of the bride of Christ. However, don't be mistaken about the rapture, because there's only one rapture event. And the first call is not the rapture, because it is only through both groups of the barley and the wheat will make up the complete picture of the bride of Christ. The first call will be a partial group and as a reward for the early faithful brides. And the first call is basically the transformation of the barley bride. Training in paradise, possibly for 7 days, and approximately 40 days of the great soul harvest ministry, according to the 40 days of Jesus' ministry on earth before his ascension. And let's go over to Exodus 24 and talked about the 70 of the elders of Israel. And as you may know, the number 70 represents completeness. And so Israel, the elders of Israel, which are the Israelites, are representing the children of God, the bride of Christ. And the elders here could mean the barley brides, because the barley matures faster than the wheat brides. And as we go over to 16, talked about the cloud covered it 6 days, and the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And that is representing the 6 days of darkness that is coming upon the world. And so because of that, we can know that the 6 days of darkness is related to verse 11. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw God and did eat and drink. And so that is related back to the 6 days of darkness. And this talking about the children of Israel, which are the children of God, representing the bride of Christ. And this saying that they will they will see God. So the bride of Christ will see God, and they will be participating like sort of feast celebration in heaven. And I will be explaining the 6 days of darkness in another video, the sixth seal of Revelation 6, and just talks about the training of the Barley bride. Psalm 18, verse 34. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a ball of steel is broken by my arms. And I was thinking this could be referring to the training period before the 40 days of the Great Soul Harvest. And why I was saying 7 days, because this generation will be as the days of Noah. So that reminds me of the 7 days preparation that Noah had in Genesis 7. He was asked to prepare the animals going to the ark before the flood comes. So just as the preparation that the bride Christ will be having for the great soul harvest. Here in Genesis 7 verse 4 it says, "For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights." The 7 days pattern over here that comes before the 40 days and 40 nights, representing 40 days of the Israelites in the wilderness, whereas wilderness represents the world, meaning that the bride Christ will have ministry approximately 40 days in the world, because it's said about destruction over here, and so that reminds of the destruction that echoes back to the Great Tribulation, sudden destruction. The rapture will take place. So back in Exodus 24, Moses went into the midst of the cloud and get him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. Could be saying that the bride will be exalted during the time of her ministry, because mountain represents high places, and the 40 days, here's the 40 days pattern again, echoing back to the 40 days the Great Soul Harvest. And also in 2 Chronicles 29 over here, as you may know, the chapter 29, Hezekiah was 25 years old. This is actually representing the glorified age, and so this is relating to the transformation of the bride of Christ. And because back in the major second earthquake of Nepal, back in May the 12th, this year, that was representing second earthquake of America, high places, which is New York City. And because Nepal represents America's high places because their highest mountain in the world, and also how this country is the only Hindu kingdom of this world, and so that's representing the two high places America, according to the two major earthquakes of Nepal that are in April 25th and the 12th of May. In Matthew 20:12, over here it says, saying this last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. And this parable of vineyard laborers could be saying how even though the wheat brats it will be raised within a short time after the first call, but before the rapture, that even though they aren't as early as the barley bride, but they can still participate the rapture and bride of Christ and be counted as part of the bride of Christ. So now let's go into Psalm 103:12. It says, as far as the east is from the west, so far have he removed our transgressions from us. From the west, this is representing from the west coast of America, which is California. So this is saying that the judgment upon the two high places of America could be upon California first, because it says from the west to the east, which is east coast of America, New York City. And so that is saying that the judgment upon these two high places, the first one would be California and the second one would be upon New York City. And why I'm saying these are the two high places, because so you may know that California, Hollywood is falsely exalting themselves over the entire world. Celebrities, entertainment industry, which promotes all kinds of scenes, and also New York City, Revelation 18. It draws the world to less of the dollar, which is the World Trade Center that is in New York City. as I said before, the first call is not the rapture, but they will be going to paradise, possibly through a door, and I believe that could be found in Matthew 25. So in Matthew 25, verse 10, talked about how the door was shut, and that could be talking about like, I know that the door represents the rapture, but it could also sometimes a word in scripture could also have dual meanings, and door could be referring to the door to paradise, to the 7 days training, and also according to Luke 23:43, and here it says, "And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise." And so that is confirming the Barley bride going to the paradise training. And does it mean that the 40 days ministry plan is literally 40 days so that you can know the exact timing of the rapture? But that's a no, because you don't know the exact day and the hour, just as a mother who is pregnant. And so the average period of pregnancy is like 40 weeks, and that is the 40 days, like approximately 40 days of the ministry of the bride of Christ before the rapture. Knows that around her 40 weeks of pregnancy, and so she would know that around that time she will give birth to the baby. And so just as around 40 days, like approximately 40 days of the harvest ministry of the bride of Christ, and the Barley bride, the bride of Christ will know that it is the season of being taken away before the Great Tribulation comes. But so just as the mother knows that it will be very close to her pregnancy, and the conception of the wheat brides will start when the sixth seal occurs, because back in 2013, the Common-Eye Sun, led on to the Scorpio constellation, which is reflecting Revelation 9, demonic locusts and scorpions. Because like in Revelation 9:11 talked about Abaddon, which is Satan, and so the king over his minions would be the demons. And so Revelation 9 is actually reflecting back to Revelation 6 seal, because of the global quake that would cause the volcanoes. As you can see in Revelation 9, the opening of the bottomless pit over here, and so the smoke like representing the volcano activity. And so that's reflecting back to Revelation 6 global quake. So great that every mountain and island will be moved out of their places. So actually global quake has back in Matthew 27 said the earth did quake. So the whole earth will quake, will be shaken, not like a localized earthquake. As you can see over here, the common eye sun hit the sun back in 2013 November, like around November 28, and so, and like the sun, looks exactly like the fertilization egg, and the common eye sun over here looks like sperm because like the head and the tail, and so that is representing the conception of the wheat bride when the sixth seal occurs. Common eye sun in Hebrew means disaster, and this is perfectly echoing back to the sixth seal worldwide disaster. And so you may ask, what about the Barley bride conception? My guess is that the conception started around 2012, where the 7 years of tribulation has begun. So counting around 3.5 years of tribulation, which the 7 years of tribulation will be explained later, but 7.5 years is around 42 months. And that's representing the approximate, the number 40, like 40 weeks pregnancy, but you know, like the Great Tribulation is about the rapture, so that's not the, like, it's not the transformation of Barley anyway. And so before the sixth seal, we could leave approximately 40 days. So that's matching the 42 months. And so once the conception of the wheat bride begins, it will be the final countdown to the rapture. And back in Matthew 27, verse 50, the death of Jesus is actually representing the transformation of the bride, because the death of the flesh is the it's like a rebirth into a new body, and it's also sort of like elevation, because according to 2 Corinthians 5:8, here it says, "We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord." And so that could be saying that the death a person would be going to heaven with the Lord. So we explain why the transformation will happen on the first day and the 6 days of darkness, because knowing how this is for the protection for the bride, even though it's not the rapture, but it's a very similar pattern, transformation pattern, in relation to the rapture. But even though like the first call is not the rapture anyway, but just saying that the purpose of having it on the first and the third day, so that we could not count by the 3 days of warning, and know the exact day of the transformation of third day, according to Matthew 27:45. 27:45. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? The death came after the 3 hours of darkness, representing the 3 days of warning. So you may ask, why would that be on the first day anyway? Because the death came after the 3 days of warning, according to verse 45. And so, as I said before, it's for the protection of the bride. How the third day could be seen as the first day. When we combine three calendars together, including the not only Gregorian, but also the Jewish, Enoch and Elijah calendars, and this just such an amazing misalignment of the timing. Just so confusing that you just so hard to guess like which day would that be. Because for example T37 just like go through like a 3-day period, like September 19th to 21st. All 3 days are actually the same T37, and so that is saying that T37 of September 19 is actually equal to September 21, because September 21 also has the T37 as well. And this calendar is actually the T3 period, so around September to October. 3 calendars actually like God's calendar schedule, because if you just watch the Jewish and Gregorian calendars, it was just part of the conversation and it will not be like the whole picture.